Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Sports. I am Zander Frost.
I'm Andrew Lind.
And we are coming at you with a hot NFL episode here to end your week in anticipation of Divisional playoff weekend. Very exciting week for the NFL, Andrew.
Pretty big. One of the top four, top five weekends in the NFL, I got to say.
One of the best weekends. I would argue, here's a hot take, I think this weekend's probably more fun than the Super Bowl.
It's more fun because there's more than one game, yeah.
This is the maximum amount of games. There's some good games. You cleared out the weak teams, the weakest teams, because the start of the playoffs, it's usually a little, there's some duds in there.
Yeah.
And this
we
week,
almost had some duds win, which kind of goes back to my upset theory of like, it's a good thing this week isn't like Bears versus Rant or whatever. Like we got some juggernauts here.
We have a lot of good games, is what I would say. A lot of very good games. So Andrew, we're going to give the Mr. Sports Nation our takes on these lines, our takes on these games. But first, we have a little bit of NFL news housekeeping to talk about here. I'm going to start with Urban Meyer. So obviously, it's seems official. I don't think it's been officially announced, but they're reporting that it's done. Urban Meyer is going to be taking.
I think it is official.
It is official. They've actually officially announced it. Urban Meyer is taking over as head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me, Andrew, in one word, how do you feel about this emotionally? Give me one word.
Lethargic. I don't know.
Lethargic.
I don't fucking care about the Jaguars at all. I don't really get. To me, college coaching is so weird because I feel like so much of it is about recruiting and like being able. It's like a two-step job. It's like X's and O's, but also the Toms and Joes or whatever the fuck. Like, can you recruit people? So I'm like, is Urban Meyer? I don't follow college like super hard. Is he actually like a genuinely good X's and O's coach?
Honestly, I don't really know. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't.
Yeah,
really
I just know he can get like he goes to programs and builds them up, and they become like contenders immediately. But a lot of that, it's like weird in college because you go and you bring in 5-star people. Like he went to Ohio State. Now, granted, Ohio State was already a top 4, top 5 program,
and Florida.
Yeah, but he kind of took over after the tattoo scandal and immediately like brought them a championship. Was it like his first or it was a second year latest?
I mean, I guess ultimately it's like Urban Meyer does really well everywhere he goes. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, but what's weird is like, wasn't he like sick and shit? He's like got health issues.
And he had the scandal, like like the covering up of domestic violence scandal.
Oh, he did?
It's like that's like when he left Ohio. Yeah, when he left Ohio State, part of it was because there was a scandal with his assistant coach.
Oh, that he was like beating his wife, and then he covered up for him.
Yeah, here, hold on. We should have. I did not expect. Yeah, so I did not expect to go that deep into this, but there's a scandal. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Okay, suspended 3 games, handling of domestic abuse allegations against his assistant head coach. See, this is why the bro code is so fucked up. It's like, to me, the bro code needs to begin and end with cheating, all right? If this guy's cheating on his wife, you keep it quiet. Maybe it's fucked up. But if you're fucking beating someone,
no, this is not bro code.
Get rid of him.
This is not bro code.
I know, but this is the same. This is the dumb idea, I guess, of like, I need to cover up for this guy. I don't get why
it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible.
The shit is stupid because to me, all these people are so replaceable. It's like, did he feel like I can't lose this guy? I need to cover this up, or like, what's the negative that comes from finding out early and nipping it in the bud that people always seem to like not want to deal with?
The cover up is worse than the crime. Is that that's not what I'm saying, but like you cover it up, it only gets worse.
Well, the cover up is worse than like facing it when it
Yeah.
happened. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, why the fuck? Just fucking get rid of. Like, I mean, even if that's your boy, like Xander, if our podcast was doing like really well, and I find out you were like beating women, I wouldn't be like, well, this podcast. I mean, I don't know, like our
Yeah,
chemistry.
it's
I'd be like,
terrible.
no, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
It's terrible, and it's terrible, but it's as it does not stop him from immediately turning around and getting another job.
No,
That's the sad
absolutely.
thing.
And even before that, he's working on Fox, NFL Sunday or whatever the fuck.
I mean, I'm reading through it right now. I mean, he also left Florida with alleged there was a toxic culture and it imploded.
Jesus.
Also, something I think people might not remember is that who played for him in Florida,
Tim Tebow?
and
Cam
Aaron
Newton?
Hernandez.
Oh, okay. What are you saying? He's responsible for that?
No, I'm just saying it's on the one hand, it's you got this reputation as he's very religious, and Tim Tebow is like the most holy man to touch a football. But then at the other side of it, it's you have Aaron Hernandez there, who is a murderer now,
Allegedly. Yeah.
Oh, really? You don't think there's enough information yet?
Okay, he was proven guilty in court, if you're going to believe court and juries now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
horrible.
know. I feel bad. I feel like I don't want to get that deep into this. We're trying to have a fun NFL podcast, but I guess I'm well, I don't know if this is a good hire or not. I don't know if it's a good hire or not. It doesn't. The idea that somehow he's necessarily going to provide stability, I don't necessarily buy. It's
Well, if he's all sick, maybe the health issues was kind of like a fake thing of I'm actually stepping down because my back is really fucked up.
Bottom line is there's a lot of crazy dirt in Urban Meyers' past. We'll see how he works with the Jags. We will.
They got a bright future though. Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. Maybe they get Tim Tebow back. He can play. He can quit baseball and come out to play wide receiver or running back or something.
Well, did you see he offered Tim Tebow a coaching job and Tebow said no?
Yeah, well, that's because Tebow's got home runs to hit. The Mets are pretty good. Mets got a new owner. They're going to be pretty good. Somebody needs to back clean up behind Lindor.
Dude, you're not. I mean, yeah, the Mets look good. We'll do our Mets pod, I think, next week.
We haven't really talked about this, but are you into baseball?
Not as much as I used to be. No, but I like it. I mean,
I
used
love
to
baseball, man. I love baseball.
Still?
I'm rooting for the Bills, but I still rep the Orioles.
Okay.
Orioles
baseball,
and Bills.
I'm kind of I'll watch it. I understand it. I like it. The season to me is way too long and meaningless. Once it's playoffs, it's exciting, but at this point, I don't know a lot of the players.
Yeah,
I used to know everybody,
Yeah, but there's a lot of dope dudes now. There's a lot of fun teams, and I like it because it's chill. I watch with my dad, especially during quarantine. And every at bat is a battle.
Yeah. I used to go because my cousin has Giants season tickets, so I'd go to a ton of Giants games, and it's fun going to a baseball game. It's you're chilling, the game is going on, a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
Fodder.
All right, so let's keep moving. So, do you have we were just talking about the Panthers. You got a hot take on the Panthers' new general manager?
Yeah.
As we know, Andrew's a
guy.
big Panthers guy.
I love that's my number one team, of all the sports. That's probably the only sport where I'm dedicated to this team only.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think makes sense because other sports you kind of go players. Well, in baseball I jump around, but I have no idea. This guy's name is Scott Fitterer or something like that. I don't know how anybody knows anything about a new GM hire,
especially in the NFL.
Yeah, it's I don't fucking know. I don't know. What sucks about the Panthers is the Bills' infrastructure was the Panthers, their GM and coach were not underlings. What do you call it? It was that Sean McDermott was our D coordinator and the GM was an assistant GM or something. So that hurts. But yeah, I don't know who. Even, I mean, I get why Deshaun Watson's mad. But when people are like, this guy from the New England, it's I don't fucking know. Maybe he'll be good.
Here are some picks he made when he was the director of college scouting for the Seahawks from 2011 to 2014. He took some highlights. He took Richard Sherman in the 5th round. He took Bobby Wagner in 2012.
Pretty good.
Bruce Irvin. Let's see
He's
who
all right.
else. Yeah,
Russell
Malcolm
Wilson,
Smith.
right?
Yep, Russell Wilson. Trying to see if there's any more that you'll really like. I mean, but even that J.R. Sweezy.
Okay.
Uh,
The Seahawks have had great like late round picks, even like DK Metcalf, but their first round picks
but
have
that's
been
DK was
garbage.
not him. DK was not
Oh,
not
DK
him.
wasn't him?
No.
But he was working there.
Yeah, Luke
He was
Wilson,
elevated. I like
Spencer
Luke Wilson.
Ware, Spencer Ware. I mean, some there's some there's some nice picks in there. I mean, obviously you're not going to hit every single one, but there are some obviously. I mean, Russell Wilson's one of the greatest picks ever. You got to say.
Honestly, yeah. And it's tough to we'll say like the 20s in the NFL draft. It's weird how it's like, wouldn't you almost rather just have like a second round pick? Like, does it seem like those hit more? Like, who was the last like 26 pick in the draft that was any good?
Let's look at the 2017 NFL draft. How about that? That'll give us a couple years back. Quick test. Who was the number 1 pick
Of 2017? Was that either Myles Garrett?
Oh, my man. Okay, cool. So here, okay, just here. I'll just give you some highlights here. 1 and 2 were Myles Garrett and Mitch Trubisky.
Amazing.
Hell yeah. Mitch Trubisky, Pro Bowler, who was a Pro Bowler. Oh man, honestly, this is a great draft. Leonard Fournette,
That's
4.
the Mahomes Watson, right?
Corey
McCaffrey.
Davis 5, Jamal Adams 6, Mike Williams 7, McCaffrey 8.
It's actually a pretty bad top 10, right? Until
Sure,
you get
but
to,
I
like,
guess
McCaffrey.
it looks better when you get Mahomes at 10, Lattimore at 11, Deshaun Watson at 12.
Okay, not bad. Wait,
Evan,
well, this is easy to say, but it sucks where you're like, the Panthers could have had Watson, but it's like, I mean, we had Cam.
yeah, you
But
weren't going to.
also, yeah.
Although his career was it was about to implode. Evan Engram. Okay, here's the 20s.
Okay.
Not a lot. Here's the only Pro Bowlers: Evan Engram at 23, Tre'Davious White at 27, and then T.J. Watt at 30.
Wow.
But then in the second round, dude, in the second round, you don't have much either. I mean, you have Buda Baker at 36, you have Dalvin Cook at 41, and then no other
turned out
Pro
decent.
Bowlers until Juju Smith-Schuster at 62. So to answer your question, guess what, Andrew? It's better to pick earlier.
Well, no, I guess to me, all I'm saying is like, because that's what I'm hearing in a lot of the Panthers things. Like, if you look at all the Seahawks first round picks, they're pretty bad, but I'd say it's pretty hard to pick late in the first round. Like, I wouldn't be like, this guy doesn't know how to draft. Look at his past, like, first round picks. in
I'd
the 20s.
imagine there's a lot of. It's hard to once you get away down from like the phenoms, it is like harder to know who's gonna pop because I'm sure the difference between, I mean, at least obviously, like, take the NBA for example, the difference between the 2nd overall pick and the 5th overall pick is usually a lot more than the difference between the 10th and the 18th.
Yeah.
Talent wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like once you get away from those truly like the unicorn type players, the differences are much smaller. It's like, the different, like, number 30 in the NBA draft is not that much more likely to pan out than number 45, like they're
At some point,
you
I
don't
think
know.
you just go like, does this guy have one NBA or NFL trait? I know he will be decent, but he'll never be great. Or do I go like, this dude, if 3 or 4 things go right, this guy could be like a fucking Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. Or like mentality, I think. I guess what I'm saying is I think it's a dumb point you want to pick earlier, and I think I'm mad at you for making that point on our podcast, but
No, I just think it's hard to fault a GM who can't pick well in the 20s of a. But it's also like he wasn't the GM, He's
right.
just
He's just
worked
the
for
scout,
team.
college scout, but or head
So we'll
of
see.
college. Yeah, we'll see. But so I mean, hey, if you get Russell Wilson this year, you'll be pretty happy with that, right?
That would be, yeah, I would take that.
Hell
What's
yeah!
his
All right,
contract?
let's enough BS. Let's get into the divisional round here. Okay, cool. So, first up, we got the Rams at the Green Bay Packers. The line here is Packers minus 6.5. Packers minus 6.5. Now, last I had checked, the weather was going to be snow in the morning and then it was going to settle down. It was going to settle down. So there's going to be some snow on the ground, but it wasn't going to be snowing during the game.
Okay, but it'll be cold as hell.
Of course.
This game is tough. I really got to rebound after last week. I think I was 1-5. Although I did bet on Cleveland to win. I got to say, well, we'll get to that with Cleveland, but this is an interesting matchup. We got two Cal quarterbacks, my alma mater, Rodgers versus Goff.
Yeah, that's true. Two equally great Cal quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's like pick your poison,
Both of whom will have equal-sized statues at the entrance to Cal's campus.
Yeah, they're already they've been commissioned already. It's kind of like them and they're like playing catch with each other, and they actually got a ball. They're able to levitate like halfway. Cal's a pretty small school, so I don't know how they did that.
Yeah, wow, really good. The two of them, I'm sure, were there for their academics too.
Yeah. But no, and Goff probably makes more than Rodgers, which is funny. But
that's insane. That is probably true, though.
What else did I write about this?
Well, I mean, I thought you were about to give us some hot take. I mean, who do you like?
Well, my instinct is to go Packers because their fucking offense has just been insane. But I went against and it's like Jared Goff in the freezing cold with like half a thumb. I don't see how he can do anything. And the Packers actually have a pretty good defense. Like Seahawks defense is pretty terrible. I think we can agree. But they were able to run very well. So like they're just gonna have to run. But versus like, I read that Aaron Rodgers has faced the number one pass defense twice in the playoffs. Did you see this? And the Rams have number one pass defense, and he's 0-2 against those teams.
I did not see that. That's interesting, though.
Yeah, it was both like NFC championships, like against the Seahawks and against last year against the 49ers.
I mean, here's what I'm going to tell you right now, as I'm currently trying to see who makes more money, Goff or Aaron Rodgers. Okay, here we go. The total, according to, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks to me that, okay, yearly cash, 27.825 million for Goff, 22 for Rodgers. So yeah, Goff is making significantly more.
Damn. I mean, he's not getting that State Farm money though.
No, that's true.
He's not getting the Rodgers rate.
You see Rodgers is going to guest host Jeopardy?
Yeah, I saw that.
Have you been watching? Ken Jennings doing a really good job.
Is he? I mean, he's taking over, right?
I hope so. I think he's doing a good job. Honestly, he stepped right into it. He almost, the interviews are almost less awkward because he has better comedic timing. Like I love Trebek. Would put some respect on the man's name, but Ken Jennings like kind of is like a more modern part of the interview. Like he has better quips.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear you say that because off the air you had some Trebek takes that were like pretty insane. Hey. You don't want to.
Normally I would lean into the bit, but this is to me Trebek is a holy figure. Okay, my family watches Jeopardy every single night. That's
for real.
Yeah, Jeopardy is. We all watched the last episode. Very emotional.
I can't yet. I only watched the college one. I watched the college one because I can actually get like the questions right. I love when it's like a sports category and you're like, damn, it's insane how easy these questions are. But if you don't know, and I'm like, do like geologists feel that way when it's like a rock category?
I'm pretty sure they do. Kidding? But I also like the audience definitely goes, yeah, it makes Andrew is totally a college freshman. That's totally Andrew's vibe is like has had a semester and is feeling very confident about his beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me and Kyrie.
Okay, so all right, let's talk about this. I think that I'm going to take the Pack by a touchdown. But I will say, man, you watch that Rams defense last week. God, especially if Aaron Donald's right. I mean, that defense is ridiculous. I mean, that defense is, and they're hype and they're just fun to watch. I think this game's going to be really good. I think that there is a chance that they mess with Rodgers here. I do.
And the fact that they like, I don't know if this has ever happened to just have probably the two best defensive players in the league on the same team.
Yeah.
Like Jalen Ramsey and Aaron
And
Donald.
Donald.
I don't know if you would take any, if there was just like a defensive draft. I don't know who you would take.
I mean,
Maybe
TJ Watt,
Watt.
I guess. But the question will be, can Devontae Adams catch the ball?
And he'll be up against Ramsey, who's
Yeah.
just been complete fucking lockdown this year.
That'll be such a fun. That is such a fun matchup. Like Devontae and Ramsey.
This is truly the best two in the NFC. It's like, I think the Packers have easily the best complete offense, right?
Yeah.
Just because their running game, like other teams, maybe like the Bucks have more complete receivers, but it's like you got Ronald.
They can do
Jones
the whole
versus Aaron
thing,
Jones.
dude. And Rodgers is so good. Rodgers is money. All right,
But they did lose Bakhtiari. They lost Bakhtiari,
Yeah, they did.
which I can't claim to be like an O-line like expert, but I'm being told he was like the best.
That's one of my
tackle in the
favorite
league.
things about football is that like some of that stuff we just like take it for granted, and like Tony Romo's just like, yeah, that guy's amazing, and we're like, oh, that guy must be amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. 20 pancakes, like yeah, he's awesome.
Like, I'm gonna say so at Packers minus 6.5. I mean, it's
I will
hard.
say, I think this line moved to 7 when I was looking at it.
I'm looking at it live right now from William Hill Sportsbook.
Shit, all right, because I've been betting on Bovada.
Um,
Actually, quick shout out to me. I bet the Rockets last night. I was like, they're gonna play inspired. I took them like 2-1 to beat the Spurs. I did not realize John Wall and Eric Gordon weren't playing.
who won
it was
that?
really
I'm gonna be
fucking
honest with you. I
stressful.
don't know who won.
The Rockets won, but it was stressful as fuck because it was just like Christian Wood and a bunch of people I've literally never heard of. And they were losing down the stretch and they like came back. They were down like 8 in the fourth. And I was like, why is John Wall wearing a jacket? Like, why is he not playing? I was like, fuck.
Nice.
But they got it done. So now I have a little bit more to play with this weekend.
Okay. The at 37 minutes, the most for the team was, it was Sterling Brown led the way with 23 points, and playing 33 minutes was someone named Jayshawn Tate.
I was going to say, this guy Tate, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's stay
Christian
focused.
Wood
here.
looked
So who
good,
you
but
picking?
yeah, but
Packers
I
or
gotta-
Rams?
I just feel like I have to go Rams. Like I just don't.
Ooh, okay. I'll take the Pack. I'll take
Because
the
whenever
Pack.
it's a great defense, I just always assume the defense will be able to hold a little bit more than the great offense.
Yeah, I don't feel great about this. The reason why I'm picking the Packers really is because I don't know if the Rams are going to be able to score much with Goff and I mean Cam
They
Akers
need
looks
Akers,
good.
yeah.
I'm taking the Packers. You're taking the Rams. The line is Packers by 6.5. Next up, can't wait. Big game. Ravens at Bills. My current line here says Bills by 2.5.
Yeah, Bills 2.5. I almost feel like every game I'm like, I want to go against my instinct because my instincts have been so bad.
I mean, that you might be
Because-
right.
I think it's tough if you're the Bills, and I realize this in their game, like they kind of have the most pressure of any team to perform because their fans are like so desperate to win something.
I don't think
like
we
they
are.
have the weight of this city.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, they are, but hey, at least they're not in the crowd. I mean, the one thing is like you won't get
They
that.
are though.
Yeah, I know, but like not in enough numbers where think about this. If this were a real season and the place was packed and one thing went wrong, the crowd would be dead silent. And that would be
Yeah.
probably pretty bad for the Bills. So at least now, if it's quiet, you can like subconsciously chalk it up to just there's not that many people in the crowd. If things are going badly.
Dude, but people are risking their lives. It's like people are coming out with this virus because they want to see this team win. That Cuomo has like changed laws to be able to let fans watch you win. You've
Cuomo
been
was gonna go, and then Buff. There was like a huge petition and stuff, and he gave up his ticket for a healthcare worker, which was hilarious, completely hilarious. Because like Cuomo, of course, Cuomo. It's like he's gonna go, and then all these Buffalo fans freaked out and said like, there's only like 6,000 tickets or whatever, and like Cuomo's gonna get one of them. Like these Bills fans are like losing their minds because they've been struggling and suffering. So then there was such a backlash, and everybody knew if Cuomo went, he was gonna get booed and everything. So
Are they like he's a New York City guy? He's probably a fucking Giants fan.
I mean, I think he is a Giants fan. I'm pretty sure, but
That
also
makes sense.
he should not have one of the tickets, and so he gave it to a Buffalo-based healthcare worker, which to like and out of the kindness of his heart. But the reality is, those Bills Mafia people would have lost. It has to be a Bills Mafia person. How could it not go to a Bills Mafia healthcare worker?
The healthcare workers probably Bills Mafia, right?
Yeah. If they're in Buffalo, yeah, they're
Okay. Help me out with this analogy because I think this is something. It's like if you're the Bills right now, this is like you haven't gotten laid in like years, and now all of a sudden you have this pressure, like you gotta fuck.
You haven't gotten laid
shit
in
out of
years,
somebody.
and you haven't gotten laid in years, and now it's like you were like at a bar, and the supermodel you've idolized since for 10 years walks in, and she's like, "I'd love to hang out right now." Like that's
And
sort of
everyone,
what
and
this
it's
is.
like, oh, you better like you're good, like you've lost weight, you're fucking like I don't
It's
know.
like it is just like all of a sudden everything has come together in this amazing moment, and you're expected to perform. Like that is the other thing it's just like all of a sudden everything has changed. Everything has
Yeah.
changed.
If I'm the Bills, I'm like, I can't even. I'm just trying not to fucking explode like 30
And I think
seconds
the
into this
hardest part is
game.
that you're totally capable of not of not exploding, and you're totally capable, and it's the only thing that can stop you is yourself.
Yeah, like you stayed hard. You've got some good sex against like some girls who were like fine. You're like, I don't really care about these girls, but I've performed really well.
Andrew, be
especially
careful
over
with
the
what you're
past few
saying.
months.
Andrew, be careful what you're saying.
Well, there's something there, some kind of analogy.
There's some kind of
They're just
analogy
not.
there.
They're not the dream girl. They're not your dream girl.
I think
But they're
that
perfectly
I
fine.
would say what's more apt is just there's been a total drought. You haven't gotten
Okay,
a
there's
kiss.
been a drought.
You haven't gotten a kiss in years.
Ooh.
It's like it has been tough. It has been hard out here in these streets.
And
Um,
especially, 4 times in a row, you were almost had this supermodel, and then like you couldn't get hard or like whatever,
and
whatever
well,
happened
yeah,
in the
that was,
90s.
but yeah, in the '90s. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to remember that was a long time ago. Now you really you gave up. You didn't think you had it anymore. But anyway, there is a lot of pressure. I'm picking the Bills by 2.5. I
Okay.
am.
See, yeah, because I gotta say, the Ravens, they still didn't look like that good, right, against the Titans.
They look fine. They look fine. I mean, the Titans played really badly, I thought. Corey Davis wasn't even in down the stretch, and A.J. Brown didn't do much. Tannehill didn't look that good. They never got Derrick Henry going. I mean, the the Ravens' defense looked good.
And their
And
offensive
Lamar looked
coordinator,
good.
by the way, just got hired in Atlanta. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, Greg Roman, he did? That's official?
I don't think Greg Roman, the Titans offensive
Oh, the
coordinator.
Titans' offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Ravens. I was like, I didn't see that.
Which is like, I guess the Titans offense is pretty good. I don't know. I mean, they have pretty good weapon versus like Bieniemy. I'm like, is Bieniemy not going to get a job again? Because this is pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. But there's still a lot of vacancies.
Yeah, maybe Bieniemy. I'm like, should he just try to lose this week? So, like all these jobs getting filled up while he's like prepping for the Super Bowl.
I mean, that's congrats on being these teams being stupid.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I don't
so-
know. I just feel like I'm gonna take the Ravens. I don't know why, just because
Wow. Okay,
the
cool. This
Bills
is
were
exclusive
unimpressive,
again. They were
and
unimpressive. They were not. They did not play well. They did not play well.
the Bills are not that good against the run versus like the Ravens can just fucking run with like I mean, it's just so demoralizing to like stop everybody, and then Lamar just takes off for 30 yards.
Don't you kind of feel like though at 2.5, this is basically you're picking a winner here?
Yeah, which I kind of don't feel great about because I do think the Bills are gonna win. I don't know, man. This picking is not for me.
The Bills did not look good against the Colts. They have to play better than they played against the Colts. But you got to also know, like, the Colts are pretty good, first of all. Like,
Yeah.
I would not say the Ravens are that much better than the Colts. And
I'd almost say the Colts are better than the Ravens.
I think I think you can make that argument. And, Bills also maybe a little bit of jitters. That was first playoff win for a lot of those dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taking the Bills -2.5, and you're taking the Ravens. You're in.
You know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm taking the Bills. Fuck the Ravens. Don't got it.
Are
One
you
more
sure?
thing. This is a matchup of the 2018 QB class.
Okay.
Kind of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
just
right.
thought I just can't. The Ravens can't win. We can't have the Ravens.
I gotta say, we
title
talked
game.
about this, but I love Lamar, dude. I love that post game interview. Lamar is awesome. Lamar is friggin' awesome. I hope not this year, but I hope in a couple years Lamar gets like some epic playoff run where everybody's hating on him and he wins. Like
Not this year. Not this year.
not this year. This year I want it to be the Bills, baby.
Well,
Not-
did you watch Lamar in college?
Yeah, he was sick.
Yeah, I feel like he was pretty accurate. Like when I watched those games, like when he won the Heisman, and he was like, it was like on the money to his receivers. But then like, it was weird. I think his coach got caught like looking at the other team's plays, and then I was like,
I
wait,
honestly
is
don't know
he-
anything. Let's not go too deep into Lamar's college. Well, that's next week. We'll do an expose.
Next week. So you think they're gonna win? And we'll
No, a
dive
postmortem.
Ravens.
A postmortem.
Postmortem. Oh, okay, got it.
Postmortem. All right. Sunday, first game. Browns at Chiefs. Chiefs -10. Now, Andrew, give me some props. We were talking, I believe, on this podcast when we released that night. Did I not say the line would be -10? You said -8, and it opened at -8. Now it's -10. I was right.
I mean, I was right, and we were both right.
We were both
in a
right.
way.
In a way.
The line moved to 10, which feels high for this team that has not really like looked good in a long time, but yet they also look fine. The Chiefs are just baffling.
I, on the one hand, don't overthink it, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs are the best team. On the other hand, the Browns will be better this week, right? They will be better. They'll have their head
Better than
coach.
last week?
I'm saying, like, they have so many people that were gone due to COVID.
You're right, but it's hard to imagine any team playing better than the Browns played last week, right?
They didn't play that well, though. I mean, the Steelers kind of imploded.
Yeah, but you got to make those picks.
Yeah.
They fucking took every opportunity. Like when they got the interceptions, they went and got the touchdown. Like
But once you have that botched snap, it's like the game was just like, it just felt like the wheels had been off for the Steelers for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, and the Steelers not going for it. They'll just never. I mean, not going for that fourth down was so absurd, and they maybe they win.
Okay, so I guess your argument to not, Andrew, to put words in your mouth, I would guess your argument for the Browns would be like the Chiefs have had some unimpressive wins. They're not going to blow them out. They've had some tight games lately that they've still won. Because the thing is, if you think the Chiefs are going to win by a touchdown, obviously you take the Browns here.
Well, yeah, I mean the thing about the Chiefs all year has been like, oh, they're kind of coasting, they're waiting to the playoffs but it's at some point it's like, shouldn't you just win one of these games by like double digits? Should the Falcons really be in it like down the stretch? Is that really just the Chiefs coasting, or do they have some issues that we can't really see because Mahomes is just so good? I don't know.
Who are you taking?
I don't know. Then again, it's like you'll never feel safe until the game ends with +10, right? Like the Chiefs could just get 3 touchdowns in like a minute, and you would be like,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. And if you look back, especially last year, it's like they blew out a lot of those. Like, I mean, we all remember the Texans game. Like, I don't
yeah.
know. I guess I want to be cute and pick the Browns, but I'm
Mhm.
like, the Chiefs are so good, and
Well, they can't run. They can't really run the ball at all. So if they have a lead, but they can pass well enough, it's kind of like running, especially with Kelsey, like
man,
getting
I'm taking
15
the
yards.
Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs because I just Mahomes is locked in. He's so good.
Is
I
he
can't.
locked in? He
I
hasn't played in
can't.
3 weeks.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So will he be a little bit rusty? The Browns get a couple early touchdowns. Maybe he throws a weird pick. Denzel Ward's coming back. That's pretty. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Would you say? I don't
Yeah.
really know. I don't
I
watch
don't
the
know.
Browns that
All
much.
I know is what they say about these players.
Cornerback similar to offensive line. I'm not like breaking down
On
cornerback
defense, it's
film
like
like
on
great
defense,
press.
on defense and O line and shit. It's like, yeah, yeah. You know, it's like I don't
Oh,
because
15 sacks. Hell
a
yeah.
good
That dude's fucking
cornerback.
Hall of Famer.
A good cornerback means that he's never on screen.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
You know, like a good cornerback means whoever they're guarding is never getting the ball, so they're always like to the left or to the right of the screen. It's like,
Yeah, or like the guys like Dante Jackson on the Panthers. He makes like such insane interceptions and gets these highlight reel things, but he also it's like he get like there's a reason he's getting all these picks. 'Cause
that's what
they're
I'm
just
saying. It's
chucking it
like
his
even
way
that
all the time.
whoever's getting those picks is getting thrown at.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of catch-22. I'm, you know,
Catch 6, depending on if they return it for a
pretty
touchdown.
funny. Well, maybe it's a catch-22 if they catch 3 of them and go
3.
for the extra. They go for a 2-point conversion on 2 of them.
Or maybe they do they catch 1 and then they do field goal. No, I guess yeah, if they kick
No,
the
because
field goal while running.
yeah, it's a catch-22. It's got to be part of the touchdown.
Oh wait, okay, here's what it is. It's 3 pick sixes and then a safety. So you run it back, you fumble, they recover in the end zone, they bring it back out, you pick him up and you throw
Hold on.
the person into the end
So
zone.
okay.
That's 2 safeties, right?
Okay, so
Or you could just get a safety.
hold on,
You could just
hold
get
on, hold
2
on, hold
safeties.
on. So the catch-22 is so hold on. How that works is that you get an interception,
Mm-hmm.
then you are running it back for a touchdown. You
Uh-huh.
fumble it.
Mm-hmm.
They recover it in their own end zone. Then you tackle them.
Well, technically that'd be a touchback. So let's assume you have 3 pick sixes. You're at 18. You're returning it. Let's say you fumble at the 4-yard line,
Yeah.
and then
But I'm saying then they recover it, and then they have
Baker
to run
recovers.
backwards.
Baker's like, oh, I see an opening. Or maybe it's Jarvis Landry. He's more. Jarvis is like, I'm going to run around the line. In doing so, he goes into the end zone.
Yeah.
You keep up with him,
Yeah.
tackle him in the end zone. That's a safety.
You couldn't fumble it in the end zone. You'd have to fumble it, and then they would have to, on their own volition, bring it back into the end zone. So
Yeah,
that's what a
unless-
catch-22 is.
Unless, okay, unless they run out of the end zone and then you bring them back in, or possibly they could recover in the end zone.
You can't bring them back in because then that's a touchback.
But no, if they leave the end zone and then go back,
Right, but they have to do it for progress.
yeah, or you could force a fumble, so they get it. You punch it out, and then the ball gets kicked into the back of the end zone or something like that.
But it has to start with a pick.
Yeah, because you catch. I mean, you can't catch.
Yeah.
If it's just the safety.
Okay,
it's
so
only
this is a new NFL term. It's when a catch-22 is when one defensive player in no particular order gets 3 pick sixes, then gets an interception, fumbles it, the player who recovers it runs it back into the end zone of their own volition, and then is tackled for a safety twice. And
yeah.
that's
So if that were to happen,
catch-22.
yeah, we have a name for that. And we're thinking if anyone's going to do it, it's Denzel Ward.
It's Denzel Ward, who we've heard from Tony Romo is a really good cornerback.
Yeah, we've looked at the tape. We watched Tony Romo say it.
You and I pour over the tape, and by tape we mean the Tony Romo interviews, Tony Romo recording of
But
his commentary
on a cassette tape, I will say, because we're
on a
old
cassette
school.
tape. We're old school. We're old school guys. We look at the tape, the
Old
cassette tape.
school, hit him in the mouth.
Mhm.
All this targeting stuff we don't like, and we also listen to tapes.
We have lots of really good analysis that is just repeating things that Chris Collinsworth said.
Yeah, I will say, dude, Xander, you know what I did the other day? I was listening to the Tony Romo tape. I recorded the Alanis Morissette, the Ironic album. I recorded over the tape, so I don't even know what to say about the Chiefs defense. But that's kind of ironic, would you say?
Pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Pretty ironic. But hey, and we also, there's lots of perils to using cassette tape, as we've discovered.
Yeah, but it's just clean. It's just what you do. You just have your routine.
Okay, so let's make our picks. I'm taking the Chiefs -10. I'm not going to overthink this.
And all I will say too, I love Cleveland. I bet Ohio State to win against Clemson. I won some money. I bet on Cleveland to win, and I won some money. I was feeling good. I bet on Ohio State to beat Alabama, and it destroyed all my love that I had built up. Not destroyed my love, but I'm hesitant. But I'm going to give them one more chance. I'm going to bet Cleveland +10.
This will be a fun one for the two of us to sort of go against. That'll be fun because I will say I am last week we talked about it. I bet on so many teams that I wasn't rooting for, or and I wish I had like bet the Browns last week because I wanted to root for them.
It's weirdly less fun. It's also alternatively, it kind of sucks in a way because we kind of want that Chiefs Bills matchup, right?
See, that's the thing. I'm picking Chiefs and Bills, and that's what I want. I mean, but at the same time, if the Bills end up against the Browns, even though that's a better matchup for the Bills, it kind of gives both sides a sympathy card, and I don't like that.
Like the Browns in the Super Bowl it's like such a good story, but then you're like, all right, I mean, damn, I wanted to see like Mahomes or like Josh Allen.
Don't you want to see Mahomes against Josh Allen? That's the matchup everybody wants. But it's just like I don't want to hear like both of these teams would be a great story. Do not want that. I don't want to have to sit there and listen to that.
Browns would be fun. Browns have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know, but you don't. I want the Bills to win. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl, and I want the whole country to be like. I want everybody to be mad at Mahomes for ruining. And I love Mahomes, but I want everybody.
Okay, if you want the Bills to win, you need to go for the Browns.
That's true, but I don't want magic. I don't. If it's the Chiefs, there's no magic involved for the Chiefs. The magic is all the magical. There's fairy dust all over the Bills. But if it's the Browns, both teams have magic, and some people might even. I'm gonna have to hear people be like, "Well, Cleveland's actually a sadder city." Like, I don't want to hear. Oh, actually, like it'd be more to these Cleveland fans. I don't. The Bills were in the playoffs last year. Like, I don't want to hear that.
Well, the Bills, though. I mean, Buffalo doesn't have like another team.
Exactly, and the Cleveland had
Sabres.
LeBron. No disrespect to Cleveland, but come on, you just got a championship. It's Buffalo's time. The people don't really seem to. It's like the rest of New York State needs this.
Well, I think to be fair, if Cleveland got to the AFC Championship, that's enough for them. It's kind of like the Titans last year. It's like you're not really going to go to the Super Bowl. This is an amazing year. And then taking down, like where it just makes sense for them to bow out against the Bills.
Hey, I guess the smartest pick would be to root for the Chiefs. But I will say, if I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Allen against Mahomes, that is the primo game. I mean that is the best matchup that you could possibly have in these playoffs. And for Buffalo, the idea that your team is now at that level, that you're going toe to toe with Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, I
get what you're saying.
That's legit.
I think Packers Chiefs might be a little bit better of a Rodgers versus Mahomes, but I don't know.
I mean, honestly, if we end up
Brady.
If we end up with the final four teams, I mean, I'm not gonna want to get ahead of if the final four teams are Bucks, Packers, Bills, Chiefs, what a final
That's what we
four.
want. That's what we want, man.
Yeah,
I don't want the fucking Rams in there. Sorry, but like, come
like
on,
what
man.
a final. Brady, Rogers, Mahomes, and Allen. I mean, you get a little bit of everything there.
That's fucking. You get a little bit of Monica, you know,
And okay, so let's make
a
our
little
pick.
bit of
So
Rodgers.
you're taking the Browns, and I'm taking the
Yeah,
Chiefs minus
I'm
10.
rolling with the Browns, man.
Moving on, Andrew. Buccaneers versus New Orleans Saints. This line, I have a strong feelings on this. Saints minus 3. Saints minus 3. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am betting on the Buccaneers. I'm betting on the Buccaneers. I thought Brady looked awesome against Washington.
Yeah, he looked great.
They have so many weapons. The Saints, no disrespect to the Saints. They got a great running game. They got a good defense. Breeze last stand. I don't think the Saints are bad, and they did, they obviously worked that game. They were awesome against the Bears. But you get a little feeling
Awesome. They were like fine. They were like,
yeah,
all right. It was
they
so
crushed
boring.
them.
Just
They crushed them though.
yeah.
I mean,
But it's Trubisky.
I just think they got Antonio Brown, you got Gronk, you got Evan. I mean, you got so many guys that can score and catch the ball. Even the Harvard, I'm blanking on his name, but
Fitzpatrick, yeah, he used to be on the Bucks. I think
Fitzpatrick was catching the ball.
or he's close. You thinking Scotty Miller? Or you thinking
No, not
we're
Scotty.
not going Keyshawn Johnson again.
No, we're
Who is
going to
real.
do this again. Brait, Cameron Brait.
Oh, Cameron Brate. He went to Harvard?
Yeah.
Huh. That's good.
Scotty Miller. Yeah, Scotty Miller could catch the ball too. I mean, I'm just saying the Bucks offense has Leonard Fournette, like the
weapons are insane.
weapons are insane. Like I don't think people have really I don't think I was giving them enough credit because I mean, Mike Evans is an A1 wide receiver.
He's good. I think he's hurt, but he's fine.
He is hurt, but he played.
Godwin had some weird drops.
He did. Godwin did not.
It was fucking bizarre.
They
Isn't that his
were chalking it up to jitters.
thing? Well, the good thing is you can throw Antonio Brown. I mean, what's weird is like, is Antonio Brown still like, if he was just a number one on a team, would he still be like the best receiver in the league, or is he kind of lost a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, he's not that much older. He's only 2 years removed from being elite.
Yeah, because he was like the no contest, I feel like, best receiver in the league for
years.
a couple of years. Yeah.
I mean, he was. He absolutely was.
Yeah, and now he's like their third option. I can't imagine. I'm almost like, should they be featuring him more, like over Godwin? I don't know.
I mean, they'll like run like reverses and shit for him. Like they'll.
Yeah.
All right, so right now. Also, did you know that he and Hollywood Brown are cousins?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I did not know that either. I just looked that up, but that's true.
Dude, I love Hollywood Brown, man. I did a Raven season on Madden, again, like the DJ Moore, and Hollywood, we broke records. Like we fucking smashed Jerry Rice, all those records. Lamar and Hollywood.
Hey, good for you, man.
Thanks, dude. I just wanted to hop on here and say that because I don't know if people realize.
All right, so I am picking. Okay, case for the Chiefs. Good defense, good running game. The Bucks aren't going to be able to stop them.
I think you said Chiefs.
Oh, sorry, my gosh.
You got to move on, dude. You got to move on.
I'm still fasting. I'm still fat. It's 2:00 and I'm supposed to eat at 1.
Shit.
So yeah, I think there's they can run the ball. It was going to look really stupid if they end up winning. Obviously, that I glazed over it, but I mean, devil's advocate, you can make a case for the Chiefs, but this kind of feels like Brady's. This is like the last big stand for the Tampa Brady Buccaneers. Brady.
Yeah, but you could say it's the last. It's really the last stand for Breeze, right? Like he's done after this year, I think.
Probably.
Tampa's probably coming back next year.
He is coming back, but like He's still really good. The difference is that like he still is really good.
Yeah,
He's
Breeze is
still a
all.
top 10 quarterback.
Yeah,
Not true for
Bree,
Breeze.
Breeze is pure like IQ at this point.
I mean, I who are you picking? I'm in. I'm
I'm
taking the
taking the
Bucks.
Bucks. I'm probably gonna bet the Bucks straight up to win. It's like plus 140. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that part of what's happening here is that like there's a little bit of the skepticism over that Buccaneers win against Washington, but Washington has a good defense.
Yeah, and Heineke
Theoretically,
looked good, and he was moving around like
yeah.
Breeze is not gonna be fucking moving like that.
I mean, I think Washington, this whole Chase Young, I'm sorry, I thought Chase Young, I know he got hurt during that game, but like whole thing was that Chase Young was amazing and there was no point where it felt like Tom Brady was not in control of that game.
No. Yeah, I think the only thing that's like honestly trepidatious, I don't know if that's the word, but I'm trying to expand my vocab. What the thing that would give me trepidation, I hope that's not like a bad word, I don't even know, but is the Saints like obliterated the Bucks like a few months ago. Like one of the weirdest games I think of the season. Did you watch that Sunday night game?
Yes, I did watch some of that.
It was bizarre. It was like I don't know. You're like, this Bucks team is supposed to be good, but I think it was like 38-3 or something. It was like, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, if they did that to them, now all of a sudden, 3 months later, they're gonna beat them.
Um
Probably.
I'm pulling the stats up for that game right now. 38-3. Yeah, that was insane. God, that was insane.
Yeah, a complete undressing, if you will.
Let's see. Let's look at the box score there. Okay. So that was Tom threw 3 picks.
Hmm.
And Breeze threw 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
So that's why you really think you think Brady's gonna throw 3 picks
No,
again?
I mean that's the only reason I can assume why they're not just like even favored
Wow.
almost. I
Listen to
just think they
this.
look better.
Listen to this. The Buccaneers had 6 rushing yards.
Jesus
Or
Christ. I
sorry,
mean, I
no,
could
rather
kind of.
eight rushing yards. 8 rushing yards.
Okay, then. All right. Well,
I mean, Jones 3 attempts, 9 yards. Leonard Fournette 1 attempt, no yards. Blaine Gabbert 1 attempt, -1 yards. I mean, brutal. I don't see that happening again. I don't see that happening again.
yeah. No, I think Tampa Bay takes care of business, and we hope to see. Imagine like Saints Rams NFC Championship. I'd be like, I don't even want to watch this.
I know that would be such a bummer. I mean, obviously I honestly like both of those teams, but it's just not what I want to see.
Not at all. Imagine like the finals. Browns Ravens and then Saints Rams. The NFL would be like, fuck.
We're totally gonna get that. Like
We're gonna like lose ratings to NBA games. This is so bad.
we're totally gonna get that. And the other thing about it is like normally all those teams, those fan bases, I support them and root for them, but like not this year. It's like we're so close to so much firepower that
Yeah.
I want it so badly. I want it so. It would be better for everybody. Would be happy, Also, like
Yeah.
Rodgers is getting up there. I think it would be nice to see Rodgers get another crack at a Super Bowl too.
Really would. Yeah.
Because I don't think that they've. I never thought McCarthy was that good, and I don't think they really. He's been great. He's been so great every year, and I want him to have a shot for another ring because he is one of those all-time great quarterbacks.
Yeah, they've really kind of wasted him for a few years. It
and
feels
even
like
this year they took a quarterback.
insane. But people claim that's what motivated him. I think Romo may have said that.
I
Check the
mean,
tape.
okay. I mean, yeah. Thank God they motivated him. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler.
Well, that was his like, are you fucking serious? You drafted a quarterback? All right, let's go. I mean, maybe even worse. They drafted A.J. Dillon in the second round, which is like they already had 2 running backs, so I don't get that.
Yeah, but Dillon was amazing against the Titans, wasn't he?
Was he? I don't remember.
In that, he was the one who went off in that the snow game where they obliterated the Titans. A.J. Dillon.
I thought that was
crushed
Adams.
No, well,
Adams
Adams went off, but A.J. Dillon also out of nowhere came out because he got all the fantasy points. The Titans.
Oh, over Aaron Jones?
Yeah. Because Jones was dinged up.
Oh, 21 for 124. Shit. So I guess, I think Aaron Jones is a free agent, right? So I guess they're like just going to have A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones.
Dude, yeah, look at Dillon's numbers for that game and 2 touchdowns.
Damn. You should have started him, dude.
And 1 reception for 5 yards. He played great. So 2020 NFL draft, I'm just going to say this.
Imagine like you're in the fantasy finals and the guy you're facing plays A.J. Dillon. I'd be like, fuck you. You don't. Well, that's why you stuck.
The guy
you still suck.
That was Waylon in our championship had Jones, and again I should have won because Jones imploded, and I had Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Don't even get me started on that. But hold on. I just want to point this out. So the Packers took in the first round Jordan Love at 26. They could have had T. Higgins. They could have had Michael Pittman. They could have had Chenault. I mean, there were Hamler. Like there were a lot of players. Chase Claypool in the second round.
He's
Cam Akers. I mean, they could have added. They could have added another weapon here for Rodgers.
Yeah, but the weapon was Aaron Rodgers' mind and dedication
himself. All right, so are we both taking? Who are we taking here? We're both taking the Bucks.
Yeah, we're both taking the Bucks.
So Bucks +3. Great. All right, Andrew, we're coming right up on an hour. I would say I'm super stoked for this weekend. I can't wait to watch all 4 of these games. I'm interested in all of them.
I'm excited too. I just got a new treadmill in my home, so I'm going to be walking uphill while watching the game. So if you might not recognize me in the next pod because I'm about to lose
calves on fleek. Really quick, we got like 2 minutes here before we want to wrap up. Which of these games do you think has the highest chance for a blowout?
Well, it's got to be Chiefs Browns. You know, the team that I picked. I don't feel great about.
Yeah, it's a feast or famine pick right there.
That'll make or break my weekend.
And just as a reminder, just to run through these picks one more time, you've taken the Rams +6.5. I took the Packers -6.5. We both took the Bills -2.5. You took the Browns +10. I took the Chiefs -10, and we both took the Saints -3. I would also say
we both got the Bucks.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Again,
don't you do that to me?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm fasting. Great. I would say, I'd agree with that. The Browns Chiefs. But I would also say it is conceivable to me that the Saints game goes awry too. But we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could easily see honestly, I could kind of see all these games being blowouts. Like you could see the Packers blowing them out. You could see the Bills blowing out. You could see the Bucks just running it up against the Saints. So these all happen in reverse.
I don't see we'll see the Ravens. I don't know. We'll see. My goal for that Bills game is that the Bills get put 1 or 2 on them early and then put some pressure because I think that. Although, the Titans did that, and it was no problem for Lamar. So, who knows? All right, y'all. Let us know what you think. Give us your picks in the comments. Smash that subscribe button. Follow us, Mr. Sports Online, at Zander H. Frost, at Drewprint, DRUPRINT. Anything? You got last comment, Andrew?
Go Chargers.
Go Chargers. All right, peace, y'all.